Hello everyone. This is your host Rohan Tandil from InnoHealth Magazine Studio. I welcome you to this podcast produced by Innovation Curious with a mission to spread awareness and knowledge of various facets of healthcare innovation. This podcast is eighth in the series Voices of IC Innovator from InnoHealth Magazine, the first magazine in India on healthcare innovations. In this series, we would be exploring the essence of the IC Innovator Club through its club members' perspectives. Today, we are going to have a conversation with a guest speaker, Mr. Tarak Nagaraj. Tarak is an entrepreneur with a vision to create products that would make life simple and easy. He is an engineer and MBA by education. Mr. Tarak has always been on the lookout to do something interesting and exciting. A simple but interesting life is all he cares for. Cricket and the Indian team and the country flag is his passion. Welcome, Mr. Tarak, to our podcast. How are you today, sir?
Thank you so much, Rowan, for having me. I'm doing good. Thank you. How about you?
So I'm all good. So, moving to the podcast, let me elaborate on the flow of this podcast. I'd be asking you a series of questions and we may discuss your views and opinions on it. So, let us begin.
Sure.
So, as we know, we grow in our career with the help of various experiences, be it good or bad. Those experiences bring in some important lesson. The realization of such a lesson depends on the person. So, my question to you is, what is the one thing or that one lesson that you wish you knew at the start of your career? Or say, you made a realization of it after many years and would have preferred otherwise?
Yeah, that's true. Actually, before, starting a career means a job. Before a job itself, when we start looking for what we want to study in life, whether you want to be an engineer or a doctor or a commerce student, to be a CA or, those kind of decisions. If I would know, if I would have known that, I would be interested in making, devices, engineering devices, medical health devices, I would have really been very more actually, the day when I was in engineering, I actually didn't know I would be an engineer doing engineering work later on in my life. So one of the reasons why I took up engineering was, because everybody wanted to be an engineer and get into the software world. But if I would have known, if I would have gone into the future and got to know about what I'm doing today, then it would have been a different ball game. It would have been a really different ball game where I would really have sharpened my skills to a level, and I wouldn't have to struggle to learn everything at this time, if I would have known that. So that's definitely something which would really help people to know, understand what's your passion about, what you want to do in life, when you're starting a career or your education career.
True, sir. Entering a career, having a vision is always better than just going with the flow.
And that's actually very true, Rohan, in America, United States, a lot of the kids actually drop out of school after 12th. So they don't really go into education, become an engineer or a doctor or, take up other professions, other, educational portfolios. They work in, McDonald's or, they just are open. And probably a couple of years or 3-4 years down the line, when they know what they want to do actually in life, they actually join that particular stream and really do very well. That's something which is something we should improve upon in our educational society also. Don't force the kids into something which they don't really know whether they want to do or not.
True, sir. We see many educational experts who come to the schools and suggest career options. Like they ask, what would you like to become in future, rather than teaching them or showing them various facets of the industries and education. So they shouldn't be asking what you want to become. They should rather show the different options that the students can take up for the careers ahead. So moving to the next question. Through our life and career, we use many things as stepping stones to grow and develop to the ideal personality or role that we want to play in our future. Some of them enabling us to take major leap due to its deep impacts on our mind. So my question to you is, what are the resources that had a major influence on you as a professional or as an individual?
Definitely two people. One is my father and one is Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. For my father, because what I am is because of him. His ideals, his education, his principles, my mother and father, whatever. That's the reason why I'm here. The fighting qualities is definitely from my father's genes, my father's genes. That's what. Chhatrapati Shivaji is special to me. Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, with very limited resources, built Swarajya, built a Maratha kingdom, which went on to become one of the biggest kingdoms in the history of India. What was Chhatrapati? Shivaji Maharaj started off with nothing. He built his team. He built everything. So he is my idol, my Guruji. He is a person I really, really look up to. Besides my father, Chhatrapati Shivaji means a lot to me. And whenever I'm down, whenever I feel I'm lost, I read up on him and I muster courage that nothing is impossible. Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj ki jai. He's the greatest man for me.
True, sir. That's a great figure to be following. Moving ahead, talking about careers, many people face various hardships. So I would like to know some of the hardships you faced in your career and how you found inspiration from such situations.
When I started off Abhay, first thing was I left a very nice, cozy job, came back from US, financial stability. I started off this whole thing not at a very young age, like 22, 23, when, you really don't care. Because I have a son, my wife, my parents, and I started off at the age of 37. So are you ready for financial hardships, the instability in life? Remember, you don't make money. Even if you make money to run the company, not to support yourself. So am I ready for that? Second thing is, am I ready to make a product? I did not start a service company. It's a product company. The probability is 0 or 1. Either you fail or you win. If you fail, you're dead. All your money is lost. It's not a service company where you know that, okay, I have 10 people, I'm going to earn X amount of money. Product, you make it. If it doesn't run, it's gone. You can't do anything. So it's a very big risk, which I took. And to build it from scratch, there's so many hardships, retaining talent, retaining people, retaining the knowledge, sharing the knowledge and not getting stolen. So there were so many things. And that's where, every step I had to read upon and go back to what Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj did to get his people, to get the team, to get the final goal, achieving the goal, which I'm still very far off. But yes, so these are some of the hardships. Yes, we do face this.
True, sir. Sometimes the only option that we have are diligent efforts, which would maybe give us success or at least help us stick to what our passion is.
Absolutely. It's the passion which takes you through.
True, sir.
The will to succeed. Yeah, that's it.
Moving ahead, besides your current profession, what profession would you like to explore?
Oh, there are a lot of things I would have done. So 20 years back, I would have liked to be the fastest bowler in the world. And I love music. I love all kinds of music, Western rock and Indian music also. Kishore Kumar, one of the greatest voices that mankind can ever have. And I used to love rock and roll. So probably, I don't know, probably if I make enough money and I have nothing else to do, I can just take up a guitar or start making music. Something would excite me.
That's a nice hobby, sir. Moving ahead, I would like to ask, what makes you feel your best self? An activity that rejuvenates you from the daily workload and stress.
Simple. Switch on music, Kishore Kumar, 1970s to 80s. Switch on the music, man. I have my own Bose speaker connected via Bluetooth to my mobile. Switch on the music and sit on the rocking chair and just relax. That's nothing. That's the best thing in life.
Moving ahead, talking about the IC Nota Club, I would like to ask what it means for you to be a member of this club.
To be very honest, I was very impressed with Mr. Sachin Gaur. When we first won the prize in Ideathon, and I connected with Mr. Sachin Gaur, his dynamic, he's a very dynamic person, the way he talks, and very knowledgeable man. So he was something I should love spending time talking to him and listening to him. So he introduced me to this club and this magazine, and so it was. And I've always attended. Lately, I've not been able to attend. I'm very sorry for that. I've been traveling extensively, trying to reach all the targets which has been set upon me. So, but initially I was part and parcel of every call which used to happen every month, and VK Goel sir, listening to him, the passion which he brings in, and all the guests who are invited for the shows, the monthly talk shows, very, very top people, knowledgeable people. So it's such a great experience, not to be part of something which is really adding value to your life, adding experience, adding knowledge. It's so beautiful, na? You agree with me, right?
True, sir. So moving ahead, I would like to ask, what are the functions that this club performs and how does it help a member to grow as an individual?
As I said earlier, you have some really top personalities, CEOs of hospitals, top like Sachin Gaur himself conducting and asking very important questions for the growth of startups. Like last month, you had a session wherein you got in venture capitalist. Unfortunately, I could not attend it. So these are all valuable knowledge, banks, you go and check out without, you can actually ask questions to some really big personalities. Like I remember asking questions to the NDHM, National Digital Health Mission, one of the top functionaries of that NDHM initiative. So these are all, I wouldn't be able to meet them in person without the help of this club. And that's a great thing. Thank you for adding me.
For the next question, what does innovation mean to you considering the healthcare industry?
Innovation, what do I say? We went through the second wave, and it was a very heartbreaking wave. People lost lives. My wife was admitted to the hospital for 8 days, so I can completely relate to everybody. Luckily, my wife recovered, but there were a lot of people who lost parents, lost so much in life. Innovation to me is something which would add value to a life, save people's lives. To do something in society, it's just not always money which matters. Something which is going to get me good karma is what I mean by innovation. We have been trying to, the two products which I have been making is one is Heartbeats. And I'm so proud to tell you all that, it's a wearable ECG device which monitors the rhythm of the heart. And all these vaccinations and post-COVID care, there's a lot of heart issues which are happening. Myocarditis, lung scarring. The second device is a lung monitor which can detect water in the lungs. That is basically your very early stage detection of pneumonia. I'm very, very happy that, I could do something in life which can actually help save people's lives. 99% or 75% plus deaths happen due to blood clots, which is because of atrial fibrillation. Myocarditis is basically missing of heartbeats. This does make a difference in everybody's lives, and it's coming at a time when the pandemic has hit us. It can be a coincidence. It's a very cruel and rude coincidence, which I never really wanted to happen. But yes, we have made devices which are going to be making a difference in a person's lives. And it has already started. My device is being implemented in hospitals where patients, can sit and get monitored from homes, and doctors don't have to be close to the patients, That does make, we lost 799 doctors this year. It's too much talent and too much, too valuable commodities lost. So this is innovation for me.
That's a great perspective, sir. I hope the innovation that you bring about reaches the maximum space where it's needed.
Thank you. Thank you so much. With podcasts like these and the magazines and the club which you all run, they are actually one of the reasons why we can be showcased, we can reach out to people. So thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Sir, for the last question, I would like to ask, where can our listeners connect to you?
Please don't connect with me on Facebook. I do only bullshit over there. So if you want to see the serious Tarak, it should always be on LinkedIn.
The link to connect with our guest, Mr. Tarak Nagaraj, will be down in the description. Thank you, Mr. Tarak, for joining us on the podcast.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
I would also like to call out to our audience to leave a comment with a review and let us know whether you like the podcast. Drop down a comment if you have any podcast ideas or recommendations. You can also connect with us if you have a healthcare innovation journey of your own to be a part of our podcast series. And for more such content on healthcare and innovation, visit innohealthmagazine.com. Stay safe. Goodbye from your host, Rohan Tandil from InnoHealth Magazine Studio. Thank you.